Hi, everybody. It is Joy and Scott from Anderson Injury Law, and we are continuing with our most frequently asked questions. However, we're kind of going off on a path now of legal fictions and myths. And today is a fun one that I'm calling Faker. You're a faker. So, Scott, tell us about what I mean in that reference.
All right. So what we're talking about is there are a lot of legal fictions that our legal system has. Things where we act like something doesn't exist or something's not true, even though it is. The one we're talking about today is insurance companies behind the scenes. When we go into a courtroom, when people are sitting there as jurors, they are sitting there looking at the at-fault driver. They're looking at this poor innocent, driver who often is someone who just simply made a mistake. And what insurance companies do is they are required to pay for the defense of that person. So that attorney who sits next to the defendant isn't paid by the defendant, it's paid for by an insurance company. And then on top of that, the award, the verdict, gets paid by an insurance company, but no one is allowed to say that. We're not allowed to say whether or not there's even insurance involved. But in every single one of these cases, the plaintiff, the person who got hurt, is looking for money out of an insurance company. They're not trying to destroy the defendant's life. But what insurance defense attorneys do is they say, look at poor little Johnny. He's, this young kid who's just trying to get his life going. Don't hit him with a massive verdict because he won't be able to pay it. And that's the type of insinuation that defense attorneys will frequently do to get juries to sympathize with the defendant and not give large verdicts. But the myth and the thing to remember is if you're ever a juror sitting listening to a trial, it's an insurance company there. No one is allowed to tell you that, but it's always an insurance company behind the scenes. They're the ones who are paying. Don't let anyone fool you. It is always an insurance company.
You know, there's so many um, little tidbits that if people knew how it actually worked, they could just be a better, I don't know, a better plaintiff or more informed or make better decisions. That's what I want to say. If they had this information, they could make better decisions that make it more fair.
Yep. Yeah, our legal system is one of its tenets is fairness and justice. And we have these legal fictions that they're there for a very specific reason, but it certainly creates a skew of what happens in terms of verdicts. And people, I love it when people have to go through jury service because they get to see some of the behind the scenes. Now the jurors aren't told everything, but at least they get to see the process, and that's what makes the process work, is people understanding how it works. When people are fed things that are incorrect and believe it, that's usually where we get absurd results in courtrooms.
So the tip for today is just know the insurance company is always watching.
Yeah, and they're the ones there that are behind the scenes that have to pay the verdict. So when they try to say it's poor Johnny, it's not. It's the insurance company.
All right. So if you want to get more information, if you've been in a car accident, please reach out to Scott at Anderson Injury Law. He offers free consultations, best advice just to see where you're at in a situation. Scott's more than willing to meet with you or one of the attorneys at his firm. What's the best way to reach out to you?
The best way is by phone 719-473-3040. People can also go to the website injuryevaluation.com. But those are the two best ways to get a hold of us.
And we do weekly videos on just the best tips, and we're starting a new series on the myths around going to court and how that works. So If you want to check it out, check out Scott's YouTube channel. We are continually updating information, and he gives some of the best tips for those people who have gotten in an accident and really don't know what to do. So next week, we're talking about frivolous lawsuits and what that means. So I will see you next time.
All right, sounds good.